Yeah, I'm sitting at the park today, and I want to talk about a short story that I read recently. The title of the short story is called "The Very Old Man with Enormous Wings." It was written in 1968 by Gabriel García Márquez. It is, I think this story resonates with me very well just because it touches on like the idea of religion. The story starts with this guy. His name is Pialo, and his wife's name is Elicinda, and they have a sick child, and also they're struggling with crab infestation just because it's the rainy season. This guy and his wife, they think the child is sick because of the weather and the rainy season. So one day while Pialo is outside throwing the infested crabs back into the ocean, he notices something in his courtyard. And so when he takes a closer look, he sees that it's an old man and he's weak, he's dirty, he's tattered, but he also has like these enormous wings at his back. And the old man is struggling to stand up, but he's too weak, so he can't. And also, he's mumbling something in some foreign language that he doesn't understand. So Pialo gets his wife, and they don't know what to do. So they go to their wife's old neighbor, this lady, and she comes and she takes one look at the old man in the courtyard, and he tells them that he's an angel, that he probably came down to get the sick child during the storm, but the storm knocked him down. And so she advised Pialo and Elicinda to beat him to death and just get it over with. But yeah, so Pialo and Elicinda consider this, and then they decide that they're just gonna lock this old man in the chicken coop with the chicken for the night, and then they will decide what to do about this later. So as time goes on, the child recovers completely from the illness while the old man is in the chicken coop. And also, the word about this old man with enormous wings has spread across the whole village. And so, everyone is coming, curious enough to come see this angel. But they don't treat him nice, because he's locked up in a zoo. They're poking him, they're throwing him food. They want him to kind of show them like a miracle or show them something spectacular. But the old man, he's weak, he's tired. They're not treating him nice. And yeah, so this news, as it keeps spreading, it gets to the local priest, who is Father Gonzaga. Father Gonzaga is the local priest in this village, and so he hears about this old man with enormous wings, and also comes to come and see if this person is truly of divine, like like if this person is truly like an angel or like he's divine. And so when he gets there, he expects the old man to speak Latin because Latin is the official church language. But then when he tries to speak Latin to the old man does not understand. And what the old man is saying, he too does not understand. And so Father Gonzaga tries to kind of like observe the old man to see if there's anything spectacular about him other than these wings. But he concludes that this man is just a human being with wings, basically. So Father Gonzaga writes to the high authorities of the church to try to get their opinion on the next course of action concerning the old man, but the church doesn't really take it seriously, so they never really respond. Now, Payola and Alessinda, they notice that a lot of people are still coming to see the old man. So they decided to make profit from this. And so what they decided was that they're going to start charging the people who come to see the old man, and lots of people started coming and they're making so much money and they become wealthy. Payola and Esinda, they build a bigger house. Like basically their life changed. They became rich from this. And all these people who came, they came with the intention to kind of decide if this guy is actually an angel or not. And while making this decision, they still treated him like shit. And they were always expecting the old man to kind of like perform spectacular miracles. But the old man only strange thing basically happened around him. Like a leper sows sprouts like flowers, or like a blind man grows new teeth. Like it's always weird miracles. It's never like something direct or something spectacular for them. And so throughout all this, they just decided that the old man was not an angel. He was just like a freak of nature, basically. Fast forward later into the story. There's a new attraction in the village. So there is this a woman was turned into a spider, and so the woman tells her story to the villagers that she was turned into a spider, like a giant spider, for disobeying her parents. And so the villagers, upon hearing her story, they are very understanding. Like they feel more relatable to the story because it's easy to understand. Like there's no sense of mystery as to why this woman is a spider. And also they relate to her story just because of the moral lesson in her story, which is disobedience. Don't disobey your parents. All this makes them kind of forget about the old man. Like he's like past, he's like old topic now. He's like old news basically. Payola and Alessinda, they don't really like kick the old man out or anything. They just kind of let him stay with them, but they forget about him. And so the old man falls sick, and they all think like, oh my God, he's gonna die. But the guy does not die. And slowly he recovers from this illness and starts growing new feathers. And one day, Alessinda, while she's in her kitchen, she observes that the old man is trying to fly, and she just stays and watches him, and he struggles to fly and gain altitude, and soon he's flying and he just disappears, and that's where the story ends. I think Payola and Alessinda's lives got so much more better after this old man came into their lives. That's the reason why I think that he's an angel. I also think like this short story kind of makes us kind of question what we think divinity is. It's like, as a Christian, we have this idea that like God is a white man and he has long hair and all these other things. But what if you had an intervention with God and he wasn't in that like vision? He wasn't in the idea you saw him in. He didn't come in that idea. It doesn't take away from the divinity. It just means that your perception is wrong and maybe you should fix it. And I think that's what this short story is trying to do. It's trying to make us kind of look at the mundane life and be like, are we taking this magical thing for granted just because it's not how we think it should be? I think that's just what this story talks about. It just highlights how we take extraordinary things for granted just because they do not fit our perception. And that is basically what I get from the short story. I think it's so beautiful. I think more people should read it. I also think the next short story I'm talking about is probably going to be by the same guy, Gabriel, just because I've gotten three recommendations. This is one of them, of his work and how good it is and how good he plays with magical realism. And yeah,